Hello everyone, welcome back to another Train Sim World 6 video, and before we get started I just want to say that I am not affiliated in any way with Skyhook Games or Dovetail Games or any other Train Sim World developer. All opinions are my own. I paid for all of these DLCs with my own money. I'd especially not want to be affiliated with Dovetail Games as they are running this game into the ground. Right, today we are on the West Coast Main Line South route by Dovetail Games in the Skyhook Games Direct Rail Services Class 20 from Cargo Line Volume 5 Nuclear. We've got a pair of empty nuclear flasks on the back. And yeah, there are a couple of things I just want to point out. Number one, if we have a look over here, I do have an LNWR branding patch active, and I also have London Midland Signal Visibility Mod active, and I also have Cargo Line Volume 3 FCA services active as well. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get started. So let's go to the other side. Master key. Let me sit, please. Thank you. How's performance? 40 FPS. Not good, but not bad either. Instrument lights on, headlights on, tail lights can stay off for now. There's a Pendolino. Wait, over there. Zoom the map out. Yeah, we are heading down to Willesden Junction today. And we're at Milton Keynes Central, if I hadn't pointed that out already. Okay, the high tone of the horn seems to be almost non-existent today. I have no idea why. Okay, tail light is flashing. That's good. All right. That's weird. I didn't know the Class 20 had that. So yeah. So next is a go via Tring in 17 miles. Let's get out of here. Come on, buddy. Speed. Thank you. Let's go. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, Cargo Line Volume 5, despite my personal liking for it, has been pretty much a pretty bad disaster for Skyhook Games. It's gotten pretty poor reviews from the guys who do unbiased reviews, not the ambassadors. And for example, it only has I think what really kills this pack for me is the lack of playability. Only 4 timetable services for the Direct Rail Services Class 20. All of them on... Thank you, game, for reminding me that I'd forgotten to turn the safety systems on. Yeah, there are also a couple of notable bugs, like the AWS loop. Only 4 services... I don't know if this is a bug, but there are only 4 playable Direct Rail services for West Coast Mainline South, only 2 of which are in daylight. What else? I do have Windsarton's live weather mod active, so it's like real time, real weather. Well, not real time, but real day, time of year. Alright, maximum beans up to our maximum allowed velocity of 60 miles an hour. There are also a couple of bugs, like I mentioned before, the AWS loop, the headlight switch on that cab, only controlling the headlights on this side and not the nose lights. Yeah, and there's also yeah, there's also a couple of other things as well, like the FNAs the suspension on the FNAs is way too firm. Doesn't bounce at all. Yeah, it's gotten pretty poor reviews from but at the end, but I still enjoy this pack. Like, the DRS20 is a nice addition to the game despite being unbranded. The new playability on Preston Carlisle is nice despite the wagons being the wrong period. It's the FNA, the FNADs were introduced in 2014 and yet show up on Preston to Carlisle despite that route being set in 1986, for instance. Yeah, but I still do enjoy this pack. I think that, yeah, Skyhook, apart from the bugs, Skyhook did a decent job with this pack. I just wish I would have sacrificed realism to have more playable surfaces with the Class 20. And I know some people are going to point out it substitutes into the timetables on at least 2 other routes. Those 2 routes being Cathcart Circle and the West Somerset Railway, of all things. However, that does not excuse the lack of included playability. 4 surfaces in 2 scenarios is literally all the playability you get with this thing included in the pack. And while there is more stuff with the Preston to Carlisle that's with the Class 47 that's included with that route and not the DRS20, which is somewhat appropriate, I suppose. Keep it on initial. Coming into Bletchley. I haven't actually run on this route in anything other than... yeah. Yeah, the AWS sound is honestly quite grating. Because it's got a very noticeable loop to it. Hopefully, I think that's one of the things that is coming in a patch to be fixed, which is great, but I just wish it hadn't made it to the release build in this state. Flashing single yellow. London Midland signal visibility mod doing absolute wonders in this lighting. Yeah, also another complaint I've heard, and this isn't one that's going to get patched, I don't think, in the next patch, is the suspension on the Class 220, while being a nice addition, is far too sensitive. Are we going to get shunted over onto the fast line? We are! Nice! That is a perk of being a nuclear train. It's considered much higher priority than other freight for obvious reasons, so it's often shifted onto the fast line at the expense of passenger trains. We don't have any security men on this train because it's empty nuclear flasks, but yeah, we still have to keep an eye on it. I just wish... panic button does let you press it. Doesn't do anything, of course, because why would it do anything? It's just like in real life it sends a distress signal to the British military to let you know that someone's trying to hijack your nuclear shipment, which is obviously a bad thing. But yeah. We are now on the fast line. Game is performing a lot better than it did last time I was in the DRS20, because for some reason last time I was in the DRS20 it was... ooh, crumbs. The game... ooh, hello, Pendo. The game was lagging, and I mean not lagging, but like the performance was terrible, and I have no idea why. No, that's not strictly true. I do have a decent idea what it was. It was a faulty mod that I had installed that was lagging the game. So I've uninstalled the mod, and now now West Coast Mainline South is honestly running pretty well. This route's now that it's got a couple of updates behind it, seems to run pretty well nowadays, even with the addition of extra services with Cargo Line Nuclear. Dawn is just breaking. It's nice to run a service that isn't high noon, like in the exact middle of the day. On 15%-ish. It's also nice to have a modern variant of the Class 20 in game, because that's something I've been wanting for a while, because the Direct Rail Services Class 20 was released quite a long time ago now. I think it was either 2021 or 2022. So it's 3 or 4 years old at this point. Ooh! Sun's poking through. Nice. And yeah, to finally have a modern variant in the game with GSMR, TPWS, modern controls. I like it. I do like it a lot. It's just it's just again the pity of not having more drivable stuff with this thing is what really kills this pack for me. 11 miles to Tring. 20%. Alright, I wonder if we're holding anyone up behind us. I bet we are. I bet there's like a poor Pendolino. Yep, of course there is. Lancaster to Euston. Run Romeo 08. He's stuck behind us at half the speed he's normally supposed to be going at. Oh, under half. Oh wow. Sun breaking through the clouds. Oh my goodness! What was that lighting transition? My word. Oh, that was actually blinding. That's one thing this game doesn't manage the best. That, like, sunrise, sunset lighting transition. My goodness. That is blinding. Does this thing have a blind? No, of course it doesn't. The one time I want a blind in this game, I want to use a blind in this game, and of course there isn't one, because it's an ancient 1960s era British Rail diesel. There's a 350, a 12 car. Nice. Let's get the throttle down. Flying along. It's not, since we're running empty, the spare 20 is actually coupled together with this locomotive instead of being at the other end and filled with security men. So we actually have double the power, because we've got the communication between the two locomotives instead of not having it. Got a tunnel coming up. This is actually really relaxing. I just wish there was more of this. Like, 2 services in the daytime is just absurd. Right, tunnel. I don't know why the high tone doesn't really exist. Weird. Anyway. Oh yeah. Oh, hello. Lighting's doing some weird stuff. It's flickering on and off. That's... okay, that's far better. Coming through. Empty nuclear flasks coming through. Another thing that I wish that had happened with this pack was, I wish there were playable services on the Midland Main Line with this thing. Because as of right now, the DRS-20 does layer onto the Midland Main Line. However, it only layers onto the Midland Main Line with as static stock. There are no playable services for it, which is very disappointing. Very. Is that a flashing double yellow or a flashing single yellow? That's a flashing double yellow. Okay. AWS chime. I love how visible the signals are with London Midlands mod. Shout out to them, like making one of the most useful mods in this game. And it affects literally every single signal in this game. It doesn't just affect the British signals, it affects the British signals the most because it actually retextures them. But it does make signals in other countries more visible. It affects the American ones, the German ones, the French ones, the Swiss ones, and I'm guessing it will eventually affect the Japanese ones, the Czech ones, and the Portuguese ones when those routes get released for the game. Flashing single yellow? Yeah, single yellow. Yeah, we're getting routed onto the slow line again, much to my disappointment. Yep, slow line it is. Wonder if we'll see any Cargo Line Volume 3 intermodal services knocking about at this hour. That'd actually be a lot of fun. Because despite being one of the busiest main lines in Britain, the West Coast Main Line in real life and in game does have a pretty decent amount of freight. Ow. My ears. Green signal? Okay. We don't have to slow down for the crossovers because, well, we can't go any faster than 60 anyway because of the FNAs limiting us. Pendo! That's so weird, seeing a Class 20 and a Pendolino running side by side. Hang on, can I get a good angle with this? Is there a good angle that I can do? Oh, that's actually... that's decent, I'll take that. See if we can get a better one at some point. Alright, we're clear back up to 100, but of course we can't because we're limited at 60. Game's performing pretty smoothly today, I must say. And that means that us being shunted over means that poor Pendo heading to Euston from Lancaster can finally overtake us. See if I can get a shot with him. Where is he? He's not too far behind. You can barely hear the high tone. And that's not a bug with the Class 20. I've had it with the... If it is a bug, then it's present on the rail freight version as well. Right, where is that Pendo? No sign of him. Come on, buddy. Where are you? Here's Cheddington. Sound the horn. We're coming through. Cheddington, not to be confused with Chuggington, of course. If anyone gets that reference, well, you're all rail nuts, so I bet you will get that reference. Aha! There he is. There's the Pendolino I've been holding up. Yeah, he's rapidly catching up. My word, those things are quick. What's he even going to replace the Pendolinos? They are pretty ancient at this point. Like, they are getting on for what? 20 years old at this point? They are being refurbished, but... yeah, that looks a lot better. I will take that. Thank you, Mr. Pendolo. The Class 390 Pendolino, I think, was one of the best things about the core TSW6 package. Just a pity we can't really run it for extended periods of time. Like the one in Train Sim Classic, I think, was originally an add-on for the West Coast Mainline North, like the modernized Preston to Carlisle route back in the day, back in Train Sim Classic, but unfortunately, like you can on that route you can run it for over an hour easily, but by default the Class 390 only has playable services on West Coast Mainline Euston to Milton Keynes and West Coast Mainline Birmingham to Crewe. And I think you can run it for up to 40 minutes on Birmingham to Crewe and 35 minutes on West Coast Mainline South, which is, yeah, certainly not enough time for the Pendo. It's pretty easy to maintain speed in the chopper. I will give it that much. It's just a pity we can't haul anything more substantial, but that is realistic. The 20 in the modern era isn't really used for anything anymore. It's mainly for rail tours, and direct rail services was actually the only one who used it for nuclear operations. Sadly, it doesn't, and they retired it in 2021, though I do believe they have some in storage. So yeah, it's a bit inaccurate to actually have the DRS 20 on West Coast Mainline South in this time period, because West Coast Mainline South is actually set in 2024, whereas DRS retired them in 2020 or 2021, something like that. Oh boy, cut the throttle. Get some loco brakes going. There's another Pendo zooming past. Alright, let's see. Who's the naughty chap in front of us? Yeah, there he is. Drink to Euston. So I believe that, oh, hello, 350 that I just missed. I believe that train service is a local stopper for a bit and then it goes express, if I remember correctly. I think I have done it before. Oh, hello, I see that red signal up ahead. Get some more brakes going. At least loco brake for now. Let's just use train brake. We should be able to stop. Chopper's pretty dang good at stopping. Yeah. On today's video, we're chasing reds. Let's go full service on the brakes. Wait for signal to change. Usual story. Oof. Hate it when this happens. That was a Crewe to Euston. Wow, that's a long service. There's the Tring to Euston, so we should be getting the green signal any moment now. I hope. That's unless someone else... There could be a service coming into Tring that is going to cause issues. If we go have a look. It's Pendo... Oh, hello. Daventry to Felixstowe. That's an FCA service. Containers. He's ahead of us, so I imagine... Oh, it's just a queue into... It's just a queue into Euston. There's... I guess I'll put her in neutral. Ugh. Won't hit the panic button. Is there anything I could do? We've also got wipers, hazard lights, tail lights. It's a very, to give Skyhook credit where it's due, it's a very different cab from the Tees Valley Class 20. Oh, hello, train to Euston. Got another one. He stopped right in platform 5 as well. When is he leaving? He's not leaving for another 7 minutes. What? Okay. I shall pause the recording here and I shall come back when this signal actually turns green. Ooh, look, a Pendolino. Nice. Okay, so the train to Euston has just started moving, and so we finally got the green light after waiting here for about 5 minutes. So not absolutely just naughty. Why, like, why did the person who made the service think it was a good idea to plonk my service right behind a local stopper? Like, I thought these things were supposed to have high priority, for goodness sake. Anyway, give it a tad more welly. Try to get up to about 30-ish. Actually, no. I think the only good thing to come out of this is that the 20 is decently fast, but the train at but it can only do 60, whereas the trains that we're following do have higher top speeds than we do, and can actually go at line speed. What is the point? There we go. Right, maximum throttle. Let's just like go. There's another Pendolino. My goodness. Thick on the ground. Oh no. It's beginning to have performance issues again. Yeah, that's 30 FPS. What's going on here? What's causing all these performance issues on this route? Right, go via Watford Junction in 13 miles. Oh, there we go. Objective marker is now back up. Back up to line speed, I hope. That train service in front of us, as I said before, is a local stopper for a bit, and then it becomes an express. So I will have to... It's 30. Still going. I don't know why I had to be held up for that long, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, I don't know why my game's having so many issues with the performance now that I've restarted recording. Guess that's maybe the class 20s are unoptimized. I just do not know. Is that a single yellow or a double yellow? That is a single? I'll have to wait until I get closer. Ooh. There's the cause of one of my performance issues. Class 350 zooming past. If it's this bad for me, the performance, then I have no idea how bad it is. Then it must be 100 times worse than this on consoles. Consoles have really been getting it in the neck recently with like the blurry texture issues and the performance issues. It's really been terrible. Tunnel. Performance is going a bit back up, but as we get into more and more into central London, I'm guessing the performance will just get worse because there'll be more trains around. Plus, there'll be more services. The southern services will come in. The overground services, and then also the and then the turn it off. And and then the underground services as well. So not anticipating these performance issues to get any better at all. 37 FPS is not that good. I'm not gonna lie. But something that will be nice is, as we get closer to London, the signal blocks will become shorter, which means signals do have a chance, more of a chance to turn green before I get to them. Slowing down. We actually, since I recorded my video yesterday, we actually learned that we are getting the Transport for Wales Class 142 Pacer by Just Trains in the next on November 25th, so yeah, that's something to look forward to. At least I know right out of the gate that the Just Trains Pacer will be good. It'll have a few bugs, yes, but Just Trains are very good at quickly squashing bugs. Skyhook Games as well. Like, Skyhook Games are quite good at squashing bugs. How's performance? 35 FPS. What is going on? Why? What is causing these performance issues? Like, I thought I had them sorted out, but no, I think it's gotten pretty bad. It's just TSW being TSW. Shame, really. We do have, according to the live weather mod, we do have some track wetness, so we'll have to be careful to avoid wheel slip. This route does look quite nice in places. Flat grass texture alert all the way over the... Oh, goodness. Slow down, buddy. Double yellow. Maybe it's the exhaust effects causing this stuff. I don't know what... Yeah, but if I turn my effects settings down, then you can't see rain on the windscreen. So, yeah, I've literally got them as low as they can be without physically removing the rain from the windscreen. But then, yeah, like, diesel exhaust effects in this game just lag it absurdly. I have no idea why. I'll still... Yeah. And despite... I know this sounds like I'm complaining a lot, but yeah, I like this game. I'm still having fun with this service. It's just the performance issues. I don't know what caused them. There's another pen dope. Hello, sir. Man, this route can get busy, and it's not as busy as it could be. Apparently, with the default timetable, there's quite a few. What is it? There's quite a few... What's the word I'm thinking of? There's quite a few underground and overground services missing from the timetable, which is annoying. Come on, buddy, let's slow you down. Got a red signal coming up. 7.5 miles to Watford Junction. Making decent time with all this congestion. No DRA on this thing, so I just put the reverser to neutral and that seems to do the trick. Full service on the brakes. Oh, and I've locked the wheels up. Great. At least we came to a stop. I didn't realize I could do that. Reverser to engine only. Oh, and as soon as I stop at the signal, it turns yellow. Thanks, game. How much further? Oh, goodness. We have to get from here. We've come from here. No, here to here. And we need to get to here. Great. Give it 30%-ish. Come on, buddy. Oh, come on. 20%. That should do it. That should do the trick. Yeah, 32 FPS. Great job, game. Don't know why the performance with this add-on, with the Cargo Line 5 add-on, is not good. Yeah, I must say, like, after everything I've been through with this pack, like, I've driven the service with the DRS20, I've driven the service with the 47 on Preston Carlisle, and at the end of the day, with all the inaccuracies and with the historical inaccuracies, the performance on West Coast Mainline South, the you know, like, the lack of playability with the DRS20. At the end of the day, this pack is only a 5 out of 10 from me, which is such a shame, really, because the other cargo lines have been. This is probably the worst of the 3 cargo lines that I have. I have Cargo Line 3 Intermodal, I have Cargo Line 4 Military, and I have Cargo Line 5 Nuclear. And I think out of all of them, I think this is the worst. Which is a major, major shame. Oh my goodness, the lag. My goodness. 350. Hello, mate. 8-car set, I think. Yeah, 8-car set. Okay, we've got a green. Let's go. We're on the move again. There's another 350. My goodness. What is that? Yeah, that was 23 frames per second there for a bit. Great job, developers. Yeah, West Coast Mainline South is already pretty unoptimized, but adding this into the mix has just made it even. It's just honestly made a bad situation even worse. It's just a major shame. Like, I love driving the DRS20. I think it's a great train. I'm really glad they added it into the game despite being unlicensed. Easy. But it's like 20%-ish. At least we have green signals now. 6 miles to Watford Junction. Wonder if we'll see a Cargo Line Volume 3 service today. We probably will when we go past Wilston, but I just want to see, are there any cargo services heading north? There's Watford Junction, there's a Pendo, heading all the way down to Wilston. Oh, hello. Okay, the Ford Lima 57 is pulling in to Wilston. Then this guy is just... Oh, that's just some wagons. Yeah, I don't see any... Yeah, I don't see any Cargo Line 3 services apart from 4 Lima 57 in front of us. Shame, really. Performance check. 31 FPS. Wow. Great job, devs. Well, this isn't really Skyhook Games' fault. It's just that adding this into the mix of the already pretty unoptimized West Coast Mainline South has just made this whole thing even worse. And I know on PC you can make the situation a bit better by using INI engine mods, but I'm not willing to go. I'm not on PC. I'm not willing to go and mess around with that, because that is a sure recipe for disaster if I'm not careful. Like, and I don't know how to do it. Like, I've done everything that I can within the realms of the game to try and make the performance on my computer and with TSW better, but yeah, TSW is quite frankly just an unoptimized mess, and yeah, it's just what it is. Sorry if if you think I'm rambling a bit, but yeah. This is what these videos are for. You just tune in to hear me ramble. Oh, sun's poking through. Under 4 miles to Watford Junction. There's Pendo. That's 27 frames a second. Oh my goodness. That's 21 frames a second. What? How is my computer performing this badly? There's a 350. This is why I don't really touch West Coast Mainline South that much. Just unoptimized mess. Just wish there, yeah. Like, I really hope Skyhook hears our calls for more playability with this pack and in a patch in the future, hopefully the reasonably near future, implements more services for the DRS Class 20 on this route and hopefully other routes that are better optimized. Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, this service is 6 Oscar 62 cruise sightings to Dungeness power station. This would have been a golden opportunity. Cargo Line Volume 5. I know it doesn't really normally add, you know, like, what is the word I'm looking for? It doesn't normally add like a new train to the game to focus us more on the wagon, but Cargo Line Volume 5 Nuclear would have been a golden opportunity to add the direct rail services Class 68. Or the Class 88 for that matter. But, oh well. Here's the tunnel into Watford. Instrument lighting looks nice, which is a major plus point, I must say. Like the detail on the 20 is a major plus point with this add-on. Like, it feels like a significantly different train than the Tees Valley Class 20. It's like a whole different animal. Look, brakes on. Signal visibility mod really helping out with seeing the signals from far away. Oh, double yellow. Remove the loco brake. Didn't have an no AWS magnet in the tunnel. I'm surprised. I also do have a cab light. Does that. Decent. Does a decent job. One mile to Watford Junction, and performance is at 28 FPS. So yeah, I normally record at 30 frames per second to try to lessen the strain on my computer instead of recording at 60 FPS. So yeah, you can now tell that this game is not running well. Crumbs. 0.6 miles. Get initial brakes on. Oh, never mind. Oh my goodness. Performance. This is our last go via before Willesden Junction now. So that's nice. Right. Willesden Junction, ladies and gents. Sound the horn coming through. 350. Double yellow, major stutter, and yeah, now we've got 11 miles to Willesden Junction. Dawn has really, truly broken. I don't get... Sometimes I don't get... As a native English speaker, I don't get the vagaries of the English language. Like, who thought the phrase "dawn is breaking" would be a good one to do? Like, it's just weird. Like, dawn isn't breaking, it's always there. Give it 10%. Another double yellow. 10 miles to Willesden Junction. Yeah, wonder if wonder if we'll see any Cargo Line Volume 3 services. Oh, we're actually going underneath, like we did on the way there. Got an AI train, we've got this guy. Don't really see any other intermodal trains hanging around. We now have the Watford DC line, or Lioness line if you prefer to call it that, running alongside us. Oh, it's green signal. Yes. Okay. I wonder if we'll see any Aventras or what are they? 1972 stocks today. We probably will. It's pretty frequent service even with the reduced service count that they get. We'll probably get a platinum medal today. I hope so, anyway. How's performance doing? 27-ish FPS as a Pendo. Final run down to Euston. Under 9 miles to Willesden Junction. At least the weather in Britain is pretty nice today. Absolutely gorgeous weather for this time of year, I must say. Nice. Goodness, that fly past was laggy. The core game in TSW really needs to be better optimized, but of course it won't ever be better optimized because, well, this is Dovetail Games we're talking about. They'll just foist more new DLC on us until they move on to the next new train sim, and then they'll extract money out of customers for that too. If there is a new train sim made to replace TSW, and if it's made by Dovetail Games, I just won't get it. Like, I don't care if there's good third-party stuff for it, I just won't get it. Because I've invested enough money into TSW, I'm not going to move over to whatever new train sim they'll have eventually. And which they will have. The Train Sim World can't continue the yearly release cycle forever. It's a bit like, yeah, a lot of people actually refused to go over from Train Sim Classic to Train Sim World in 2018, and yeah, I fully agree with them. Like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in TS Classic which you still don't have in TSW. Hello! Southern Class 377 doing the hourly service up to Watford Junction from East Croydon. Nice. You don't see those too often because it's an hourly service. Like, yeah. I think this is actually the only route in TSW where you can actually run an Electrostar under the wires, because Southeastern High Speed is third rail. The Brighton Main Line's third rail. East Coastway is third rail. Oh. Give it 50%, why not? 27 frames a second. Wow. Great job, developers. What an unoptimized pile of you-know-what. Can't say that word because, yeah. We are coming up on Harrow and Wealdstone, however, which means we'll start seeing underground services from there to Wealdstone. Track wetness, according to the live weather mod, track wetness has now decreased. Yeah. So now we shouldn't expect any more wheel slip. There's a Class 710 Aventra. Slow down. There's a 72 stock waiting patiently to do the next service down to Elephant and Castle. Five and a half miles to go. Gosh. 23 frames a second. Ooh, we're racing an Aventra. He's limited to 45 miles an hour, however. There's a 72 stock coming in. My goodness. Come on, chopper. Oh my goodness, that was an abrupt lighting transition. Do be proud, buddy. Catch up to that Aventra. Class 710 is actually a nice train. Like, all the Aventras are pretty dang nice. Like, I have pretty extensive experience on Class 345s, Elizabeth Line Aventras. And they're pretty nice trains. Like, probably the nicest modern British train that you can get, that you can see today. Like, the IETs are too uncomfortable. Oh, there's a missing overhead catenary. Yeah, like, a lot of modern British trains just aren't nice. Like, I think the Aventras look really nice. Like, especially the ones like the 710 and the 345 and the 720. Oh, DSD going off for the first time today. There goes the 710. See ya. That's what happens when you haul freight rather than passengers. To be fair, I do mostly haul passengers rather than freight. Oh my goodness, that Pendo and the 350 were racing each other. Four miles to go. Can't believe I had to wait a train for like 10 minutes. Very annoying, but it is what it is, I'm afraid. Three and a half miles to go. We will have a low speed limit coming into Wealdstone Junction because we're actually going in an underpass under the WCML before arriving at Wealdstone Junction. Yeah, 15 limit just after Wembley Central, which is the next station. Goodness. At least the game seems to have stabilized-ish at 27 FPS rather than going even lower. Which is somewhat good, I suppose. There's another Aventra. Heading north. Let's keep slowing down. And I think this is an approach control signal, so take a look about a brake off because it takes too long to release. I don't want to have only one brake to worry about. So if we approach this at like 15 miles an hour, it should change before we get into... Yeah. Here's Wembley Central. Release. Green signal. Thank you kindly. Yeah, it was an approach control signal. Wembley Central's platforms in real life and in game are strangely deserted. I don't get why that is. Like, it's just bare. It's very bland and bare, if you know what I mean. This does the same for cargo line intermodal services going into Willesden. Does. Easy does it. Just go at 15. 2 miles we'll have to do it 15 miles an hour. What? Why? Oh my word. Really getting laggy. I think it's all the stuff around Willesden Junction. There's a lot of static stock in this area. At least we're off the main line now. We'll have to go down to 10 miles an hour in a minute, which is just absurd slow. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Keep to 15. No point going any faster. There's that intermodal train for Lima 57 that was ahead of us earlier. Which is a mix of FCA and FKA wagons. So yeah, so FKA, FCA. I do prefer the FCAs myself because they are a lot nicer modeled. The FKAs have been around since this game was originally released. The FKAs have been around since the Great Western Express and haven't really ever gotten updated. Slow down a bit. Yeah, that's the 10 sign. Slow down now. I want to stay ahead of the curve. 11, 10. Yeah, there we go. My goodness. My goodness, my game is not liking me today. There's a Pendo. We'll be able to go up to 20 in a minute, but for now, we're stuck at 10 miles an hour. Oh my goodness, why am I going 13? Ah, that's the train brake. That's not the brake I was intending to use. excruciating. Why am I being forced to go at 10 miles an hour? Come on. Get past the 10 section, we can go 15. Oh yes, go up to 15 now. Still will have 1.5 miles to go. But our train isn't long, so hopefully we don't have too long until we can go up to 15. Give some juice. Go up to 20 miles an hour now. And then 40. Yes. Yes, 20 miles an hour. This feels so good. Don't have to go 10 miles an hour anymore. Okay, we do have a very steep hill coming up. Downhill bit, because we do have to go underneath the WCML and pop back up the other side. So, hopefully I can control the speed well. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Full loco brake. And we're still gaining speed at full loco brake. What? Okay, train brake has to be employed. Thank train brake. Alright. Start releasing the loco brake now, since we are coming off the... Oh, goodness. Never mind. Oh goodness, that was close to the cab. Now release the loco brake. Oh, you can look through that wall there. I didn't notice that before. 0.8 miles to go. Alright, near maximum beans. Need to get up this hill. There goes a Pendo. Come on. Yes, speed. Speed and power. Yards. Do have to keep up the throttle just to get up this hill, and there we go. Let's get some brakes on. .400 yards. There's a 350. Slowing down, bud. Can't believe how poorly optimized this route is. Utterly absurd. mean to apply the terrain brake, but there we go. 70 yards to go. Initial on the brakes. There's another 350. Wish you had the Class 730 Aventra that LNWR uses and West Midlands uses on this route. There's a Pendo as we finally come to a stop. And there we go, that's a platinum medal. Only 260 points lost to speeding. So yeah, that'll be all for this video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another one of these videos. And I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.